Hey, what up YouTube? I'm going to just do a quick little video. This is part 2 of putting the dehumidifier in the crawl space. I failed to put out another video as quickly as I meant to because I sealed it all up and I didn't feel like opening it back up to do the video probably over a week ago. But I had to get back into the crawl space, A, to kind of see how things were going, and B, I had some detailing supplies that I wanted to use that I'm now keeping down here in these totes. I do have a couple of boxes. I'm going to slowly put them into totes as I grab them up at the store, just as extra precaution. But everything in these boxes are detailing supplies in plastic bottles, so a box ain't going to be a big deal. They've actually been down here for a few weeks now, and absolutely no moisture problems at all. If you guys remember what this basement looked like before, look at it now. I'm down here. I couldn't even be down here before. I was breaking into hives and having a problem. Now I can come down here and, you know, not chill out per se, but work down here. I worked down here quite a bit the one day and I was totally fine. You guys can see our massive, brand new. They're a little dirty from moving them around. I might eventually wipe them down just because I'm anal like that, but those are two brand new 86-gallon tanks, guys, water bladder tanks. So the all new pump system, everything, guys, all new plumbing. We've got an entire new French drain that runs all the way from the footer over there. It comes out from this wall, and runs all the way to the sub pump. You no longer can see it. It used to be exposed. It used to come up out of the ground, down in the ground, up out of the ground, which is totally stupid. The water could not properly flow. It was caked full of mud. It was keeping everything over there so wet. That day we got huge rain that it lifted that brand new tank up off the ground and leaned it towards the other one. So the plumber had to come back out and he had to reset it, refix it, all that good stuff. It does lean a little bit right now. He says it's fine though. It's not leaning because of pressure. It's just leaning because of the way it's sitting on the pebble stone or whatnot. He says it's fine. He goes, you don't want them too off center, you know what I mean? But he said it's okay. So anyways, if you guys look down here, guys, I'm now storing stuff down here on crates. Just a few things that we don't care too much about. Obviously my TV I care a lot about. It's in a thick ass box, all sealed up with tape. It's not going to be down here super long where it's going to get affected. I do have, here it is, guys, the dehumidifier that I bought for the crawl space. This is one that's actually made for the crawl space. It can do, I believe it said 7 gallons of water an hour, I believe, something like that, or 7 gallons of water a day. I don't even know. But it's a highly rated one, guys. It costs damn near $400. It's been running full blast. I do have it set to shut off, I believe, at like 52. I actually had it set to 50, but when I came down here, guys, it was still running. It don't seem like it can get it to 50, but that could be not true. That could be I came down here at the wrong time and it crept up and now it kicked back on to get it back down. It was up to 54 and it's been coming back down. So, but you know what? Even if this thing can only do it and keep it under, I know I can get it down to 52. See, it just crept up to 54. It doesn't help that I have this door open, so it's pulling in moisture from the house. So once I get that sealed back up and all that, it's going to definitely help. Someday we want to encapsulate the entire crawl space properly. Right now it's just us laying down plastic and, you know, doing our best to clean it up. And it's really a really nice job. The people before us never did any of this shit. And so, yeah, it was obviously a nightmare. The humidity down here was 76%. So now that we got it down to 50, say 50 to 54 max, see it just went back up to 54 right there. That might mean that I might need 2 of them or maybe eventually a bigger unit down here if I really want to get it into that 50 range. But I did my research and they said anywhere from 50 to 54% in Michigan is actually really good. So it's nothing to worry about. You just want to keep it under 60. So 60 and above, you start to get too much moisture in the air and it can start to slowly, you know, bring in bugs and moisture and all that. So as long as this thing can keep it, you know, 54 and under, I'm pretty happy with it. They say to keep it about 6 feet away from the wall. It's not quite that either, but I'm also trying to keep that cord. I want that cord directly plugged into an outlet or a surge protector. I don't want to plug that into a electrical cord or anything like that. So that's the best I could do as far away as I could put it. Some people think you need to have it centered to the crawl. It really don't matter. It's going to pull the air and pull the air. It's going to pull the moisture out of here. It's not like it's a tiny unit. That's actually a really powerful unit right there. It's pretty good size, quite heavy. It's got a built-in pump in it. I'm not using it. I'm using the gravity system because essentially there's enough gravity and enough pitch that I can just run the tube right down in there and it doesn't back up and everything's fine. I figure one less thing I have to run pulling electricity because this thing is probably going to up our electric bill $50 to $100 a month, I would assume. I did check the little app that I have through DTE Energy. I pay like $3 a month. They have this little device that tracks how much usage we're using. It projects our bill is going to be like $232 this month. We budget for $296, and we only have hit that $296 in the winter time like 2 times. That's when the heat's going like crazy, and I've been home. That's another thing, guys. I've been home every single day for the last 3 months, so I'm running gaming systems and computers and lights and everything under the sun. So actually, it's not too bad. If we can get, if the bill can hit about that and it stays under our budget still, I'll be pretty happy with that. But it's got to be done, guys. It is what it is. It's just another hidden, I guess I'll call it another hidden owning a home that you don't even think about, guys. Things like this, right? All of a sudden you find out your humidity in your crawl space is too high. So now you got to run a dehumidifier, which ups your electric bill. The plumbing system, the pump system, the money, you guys know the story with me being watching my videos. We put $75,000 into our house in 2 years. In just getting things up to par and fixed and replaced. It's been insane. So anyway, those tanks, guys, the bigger the tanks that you have in your home, especially if you're on a well and you have a well pump, that can cost, $3,000 to $4,000 or more to install. Once it pumps and fill both those tanks up, those tanks can run, guys. I can pull water out of those tanks for a week before that pump has to pump water back and fill them back up. Now, I do know it's all pressure related, so I think once the tanks drop down to 30% or something like that, it then kicks into pump. So it doesn't drain them completely. But the wear and tear on that pump system, or that pump for the well pump, is going to be substantially dropped, which is going to help prolong it and save us some money in the long run. You guys can see if you really look. See these cracks I got right there? Stair-step cracks. They're not really the greatest cracks that you want. There's only the one right there. It goes to about right there. I'm going to have to mortar those in, but I think before I do anything, we don't have any foundation problems. There's no leaning of the house. If you guys look at all of the blocks, it's really nice, good-looking block. So we're not having any big problems or anything like that all over the place. Zoom back out. So really, it's not really a big concern. So I'm going to probably have a mason come out or somebody that does foundations eventually, just to have them look at that and do the repair, have it done right. I don't just want to mud that up. I want them to inject that, shoot it with their shit, fill it up. The less water, moisture, bugs that can come in, always the better. If we're going to stay and live in this house, guys, I want this house running in tip-top condition. I want to be able to come down here. I want to be able to open this crawl space like I haven't done in over a week, and turn the lights on, and everything looks nice. It did have a little bit of a musty smell in here. It wasn't before, but that's because I had the door open. I probably got a little used to it. There is nothing but dirt, raw soil down here, right? So you're going to have that earthy smell no matter what. But it ain't nothing like it used to be. Speaking of which, I'm probably going to get out of here because it's one of those things that I think over time, if you take in too much, with me having bad allergies to it, I need to make sure that I don't breathe it in for too long. But I came down, guys, because I wanted to grab some Crown Rust Protection and lubricant that I have, because I'm spraying my new mower's deck underneath it. I'm getting it soaked with this stuff, and I'm going to protect that deck from rusting out ever. And then I just figured I'd grab some detailing supplies. I want to put a coat of wax on it, Plastic X for my car, some rag top vinyl protectant for my truck, and some interior cleaner for my truck. So I figured I'd come down here, get them out of the totes, and go ahead and grab some detailing supplies while I'm at it. But I just wanted to make that quick video, guys, to show you that the dehumidifier is running great. You can see the water. If you look, you can see the water. Sort of, I guess you can see it. Well, it already dumped. But the water, it sets a little bit in the tube, like right there, until water hits it enough to kind of, because it's not quite a perfect pitch, but it will never back up into that system. It always will keep going down. So there's no point in having the internal pump run and pump it down and pump it down and pump it down. No, see, just seen some go right there. You know, it's there if it's needed, which is nice, but I don't, you know, the less I have to wear it out or whatever, the better. So anyways, that thing's running, guys. As you can see, it's still keeping it at a good 53 the whole time. It's running constantly. But again, I have this door open. That's not helping it, right? Because it's pulling and pulling air from inside the house. So what I have done, guys, as you can see, part of up there where the ductwork comes into the house, there isn't really a good way of sealing that up per se. Other than what I did, I shoved insulation all around in there so nothing can come in and out. There's probably, it looks like I need to, well, no, that's pretty good. That's just metal. But I stuffed it all the way up top, all around it. So when that door shuts, see the cutout hole for it? When that door shuts, I also put some rubber gaskets along the edge right there. So that seals it right up. I also put a rubber gasket on that seam right there that seals it up. And then any spot that I can't get the rubber gasket really well done, I even did one right there. When the door shuts, the little crack that you have the hinges on, everything is going to be sealed up. I am debating and probably going to take that vent out, and I'm going to cover that up with a board, because that was an old school way. They said if you wanted to vent out your crawl space with the house, they always suggested putting a vent there. Now they're saying that's actually a myth, that's not needed. And actually, it's better to not have that open air, right? Which will also help the humidity in here, because no air from the inside of the house can come through here. There's really no reason to air the crawl space out, especially into the house, right? A lot of crawl spaces have venting, vents that are built just above the ground, like up there in the rock. I want to say rockers. I'm thinking cars too much, but they vent it essentially outside. Luckily, this house doesn't have that, and that's a good thing, because they're saying those are actually doing more harms to older homes than good. That's allowing critters in and moisture. It's actually allowing more humidity, moisture in than it is taking it out, especially if people forget to open them and close them and all that stuff. Unlike a mobile home where you really do need to vent out underneath your home. So anyways, I'm glad this doesn't have that. So yeah, and they said you definitely don't want to be venting your crawl space out, especially if you're trying to keep the humidity all down and in, and especially if you're running a dehumidifier, right? So there's no reason. You want this as sealed up as best you can, so that way it can pull all the humidity out of this area where you have the earth, right? We have the ground pretty much covered up. There's a lot of open areas of dirt still. It's not professionally done. Eventually we are going to get it professionally encapsulated once I'm confident in the blocks and the, you know, obviously with plastic, not foam or anything, something that we can, you know, keep an eye on the block still. But I want to get this really foamed up nice and tight and professional, super cleaned out, keep the humidity down and all that good stuff. So with that being said, like I said, the people here, guys, they did 42 years, they didn't do a damn thing down here, so, and it survived. We do have some warping, as you guys can see. We got a couple of boards right there that are warped out. I'm going to have to probably cut those. I'll maybe try to take a heavy-duty screw and screw that into the stud, and maybe I can flex it back. I'm not so sure, though. Might have to cut those out, support the floor, and cut those out, and then install a new board. But we'll get to that eventually. That is due to the high moisture. So, essentially, though, the problem is fixed. As you guys can see, it just dropped back down to 53. Once I get that door shut, it'll probably keep going down. So we're at a good point right now, though, guys. At 50-some humidity level, you're not going to get the spiders, you're not going to get the bugs, you're not going to get the attraction, right? Because there's not going to be the moisture. And I've even thought about leaving this one bulb on. I mean, how much does it cost to run a bulb, right? I have these other really nice lights, LED lights, that are all throughout the basement, is why it's so lit up down here. And then you just got this one bulb, which is barely in, actually. So yeah, so you got this one bulb. Not really sure what that is. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is, guys. Maybe I used to have, oh, maybe you put a pull string. I don't know, guys. That's interesting what that is. I'm going to have to have an electrician figure that out. But anyways, guys, you're not going to have the, a light. The reason why I want to leave the light, I'm thinking, on, is because, A, it costs a couple bucks a year to run. But animals and stuff, right? Not that we get any animals. I did have a vole come down here. I don't know how the hell he got in. I really do not. There's no holes, guys, that are in the foundation. Everything's plugged up pretty tight. I can't believe that he would have burrowed that deep and got in here, but somehow he got his ass in here and I killed him. But anyways, when you have a light and stuff, animals like that, or bugs, spiders, rodents, they're not going to want to be here. They're not going to feel safe, right? They like dark, quiet, humid conditions. So between running the dehumidifier and keeping it, 50% humidity or 54, 55% humidity, it's not going to be those ideal wet conditions. Yes, you're always going to get a little wet in the soil and stuff like that. That's going to be a little bit more. It's never going to be perfect, but we're keeping the conditions a lot less nice for them to want to be here. And having light, they don't like light, so I think it's just going to be better to leave the light on down here and replace a bulb every once in a while. I don't really care about that. I'll keep the big LED lights out and all that stuff because I want to run everything down here and burn them out. I want to have the light when I need it. You know what, guys? I wonder... See, I didn't notice right there. That could be a problem spot, actually. I didn't notice that, guys. I'm going to zoom in. Look at that right there by the ductwork. See that? There's a hole right through there. Now, I do know that is the block wall that would probably be just before the garage. Because I know that vent right there, that vent goes out to the garage. Why the hell they put a vent that goes out to the garage, one vent? I believe if I'm looking at the house right, that is, yeah, that's right. That's the vent to the garage. And that vent right there would be the vent that goes up into the kitchen, I believe. So yeah, I might want to foam that in, but there's no, I don't see any actual hole there out into the garage. So I don't think that would be it. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, guys. But yeah, I'm beginning to really know this house a lot more, which is really us want to stay. We actually had a scheduled appointment to meet with a realtor again. We are keeping track of the market. The market has gone up. We probably could get, say, $320,000 for this house now. Still wouldn't be enough, to be honest with you, after all the money we put in. But it's enough that makes you scratch your head and think, that maybe that would be a possibility. But again, we've kind of decided things for the first time in months, guys, has started to calm down. I'm actually going to be heading back to work here soon. Either on the 18th or June 1st. I'm thinking June 1st. I'm still getting a decent amount of pain in my thumb. It's stiff from being immobilized for 6 weeks. I think I need a little bit of time in order for it to kind of gain some of its mobility back. And some of it's, hopefully not as painful. Hold on one second, guys. Get up here. Damn pants falling off. Don't you hate that, guys? When you're losing weight, your pants, you can't go down to down a size, but you also can't go up a size. You're kind of stuck in between a size, and they sort of fit and they sort of don't. Anyways, as usual, the video goes longer than I planned. I'm going to post a video about my mower as well. You guys haven't even seen that yet. I was debating on posting it, but I'll post it. I'll upload that first, and I'll upload this one so you guys can go back and watch what I was talking about. But anyways, so I wanted to get a few more totes under there. I really want to put these. We got VHS tapes and we have DVDs, but even though they're in totes and all that good stuff, cassette tapes, they're 20, 30 years old and they still run and work good. People that say cassette tapes won't last that long, they don't know what they're talking about. If they're in the right conditions, look at this mess out here, guys. If they're in the right conditions, they'll last. I've got tapes 30 years old that play fine. I actually have been buying some at the Goodwill and enjoying. Actually, let me show you that, guys. You guys know I go off topic. So I picked these up, guys. Let me see. We don't have a lot of light down here. I wish there was another light over here. Maybe someday we'll put one in. So anyway, but yeah, check these guys out. So I picked this up, a Panasonic Hi-Fi stereo VHS player by Omnivision. Really good one. And then I picked this one up, guys. Panasonic VCR Plus Omnivision. They're the same company, same brand, everything, but this is like the Cadillac, and this is like the LT model, right? Still good. They're all still good, but this is like the granddaddy, and this is like just under the granddaddy. Then I have one that my mother-in-law gave me that's a DVD VCR combo that's hooked up to my old school TV upstairs. That works perfectly. And then I have one that I bought when I was a kid, that $50 when I bought it, that still works perfectly. And then I have a super old one from the 70s that was my dad's that still works that I'd never used because it does have a tendency to eat tapes every once in a blue moon. It's more just for nostalgia to have it because it was my dad's. It's black. I think it's made by Emerson. Pretty awesome. I literally watched things on it when I was a kid, and I still have it now, and I'm 42 years old. So it's like 50 years old, you know, something like that. Anyways, guys, so yeah, I don't want to store them under the crawl space, even though they probably would be okay. As you guys, we've really cleaned up this crawl. It doesn't seem like it, but we have. I mean, all the plumbing lines are gone. We had wires hanging down. All the wires are pulled out. I put the our, you know, bills and all that bullshit that we like to store away, medical stuff, all that in between the washer and dryer. I was going to put it over in this corner, but then it'd stick out here. Really, this room, like I've mentioned in the past, this room is all about function over anything, right? It's not ever going to look beautiful and pretty. I did put up, you know, a little curtain thing to keep the sun out, and so when you're using the bathroom, people can't see. Toilet got moved over here. You know, I laid down a new rug just today. I got a topper coming just to make it look a little bit nice. I got to get rid of one of those. I got to clean up a little bit. The paint's out because I'm doing some painting. That'll be going away. These totes will probably be stored over there. Eventually, I want to put a rod up so we can hang the clothes we want to dry instead of having them on this rack taking up space. But realistically, as long as everything, and I got some cleaning up I got to do here, but as long as you can walk in here, move around, and get to things when you need to, check the lines, check the plumbing, turn on and off the water for the swamp cooler, you know, as long as it can function, you can use the toilet. Where's the toilet paper? Okay, we had a toilet paper. Oh, there it is right there. That'll be over here too. So anyways, guys, here's the new AquaSure. 290 gallons before it recycles, so that's finally working. That wasn't working for the longest time. Brand new, because I had a valve knot on that I was bypassing the whole system and didn't even know it. So again, it's about learning your home, guys. If you're not a plumber and you're getting plumbing done, it's learning. You know, it's not super complicated, but at the same time it is, right? Valve goes what bypasses what you got to turn on, what you got to turn off, checking for leaks. I got to pull this out of here. We took out the sprinkler system because it's over the septic field. You never want to soak your septic field full of water just to make the grass grow pretty, because then you're gonna, you know, degrade down your septic field and make it go bad, and that's like $25,000-$30,000. So I got to pull that pipe out of there, fill that hole. Guys, out here, I had to make another little line right here, a little ditch line right there. I'm going to French drain all down through here. I'm going to do like 3 of them. And I'm going to pull all this dirt back, make more of it, level it going down. And I'm going to put 3 French drains in. Then we're going to build a deck, just a platform deck. Nothing massive, only something that goes up maybe 30 inches. Something you don't need rails, just something to have a nice thing to sit out on and look out on the pond. I want to fill this French drain in properly so it's not an open culvert or decorate around it. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but I got a lot of work, guys. I haven't been outside to do anything. The pond is already starting to get crap in it. I need to get out there and spray. I'm going to do that by this weekend. Hopefully no rain. I'm going to start spraying to keep these weeds and shit down. I don't want them getting like they were last year. I want to get, if you guys zoom in, all that crap over there I want to get down. I want a little more cleaned up this year. I've got pond dye. I want to keep the bacteria down a little bit better. I need to cut grass. I got a lot of work to do. So it's just been a lot. I got to take care of this. But I'm getting like all this. We had crap all built up right here because we had plumber in here for 4 months. 3 months. We had workers. We had, I had to paint all this. You guys know the drill, right? So now, I'll give you a quick little look. It's looking pretty nice. I'm finally getting a few things left I got to get rid of down here, and this place will look nice. We put up these little lights here. We really like this, guys. This looks really cool. Just from Walmart. Kind of cute, right? But yeah, so we're making progress. Slow progress because I don't work as quickly as I used to. I don't know what my deal is. I can't seem to get a lot of crap done all at once all the time anymore, but with that being said, guys, I'm going to let you go because I want to get this thing shut. And it's a bit of annoying, but there are some areas that I have to take insulation after I get it pulled shut and tuck in certain areas. Not nearly as much after I added the rubber seams right there, but still got to do it. But you know what, guys? If I can avoid a spider or anything from coming into this house, I mean, I've got, as you guys can see, I foamed every crack. I still got to cut it all down, but I foamed up everything. I foamed over there by the wall. All that right there, I foamed from the crawl space in and out, so there's no more an air access area that literally, guys, spiders could have come up over this wall from in the crawl, down under, and through the wall and in here. So all that's foamed in, so we're really tightening it up down here. And again, this room is about function over being pretty. It's never going to be pretty. I might paint these walls if I have nothing better to do. Fresh coat a quick little paint on here just to make it look decent. And I might eventually get some stick-on tiles and just tile the areas that you can kind of see just to make it look a little bit nicer, get a couple nicer rugs. Other than that, guys, like all this crap, these holes, maybe I'll putty these holes up just to putty them up, but other than that, like, I don't care about all this stuff. I mean, look at this, right? I mean, I got the lights on a timer, so I can see how to turn it off, see how it dimmed it a little bit. But yeah, other than that, when you close this door, now you've got the nice house. All about the house. It's kind of like having a cruise ship, right? Eventually you go to the bottom of the cruise ship and you open up the doors, and then you have, you know, the guts of the cruise ship, the engine, the paddles, the lines, the plumbing, all that stuff that runs it. Well, this is kind of like that with the house. Everything that runs the house is like in this room, which one thing, again, I think I've said this before, I like that about a tri-level home. Everything gets tied down into a couple of rooms in like the crawl or the area, the crawl space or like a room. I mean, the only lines that run down here that could cause a problem, the bathroom's right under here, so you're going to know if there's a problem. The bathroom sinks are right here, so you're going to know if there's a problem. I think there's one, the kitchen line runs all the way from the crawl space into here. So and if that leaks, it's going right into the crawl space where at least there's plastic and dirt there. There's really not a lot of lines that can go bad and damage the house, except for these lines right here that can go bad and can creep into the basement. Worst case scenario, let's hope to God that never happens again. I'm going to really keep up on it. But if that happens, rip out the walls, put in new flooring, start over. But let's hope that don't happen, and it shouldn't. Everything's looking good. Everything the plumber did, guys, has been doing really well. No drips, no issues. There was a few issues, but we fixed them, and so far I can honestly say that everything is finally up and running really good. I'm not getting drips. I'm running the air right now with the water, and I'm getting no leaks no more. We fixed everything. So finally getting a break. I'm gonna get back to work, get full pay here soon, and just enjoy life, I hope, for a while and kind of start to rebuild, because financially you take a hell of a hit. I haven't worked full-time for 3 months, probably gonna be almost 4 months by the time I get back. So yeah, it's definitely cost a lot of money this year, but we're making it through. God's blessed us and we're getting by. So anyways, look for my mower video coming up, and then after that I'll post this one. We'll talk to y'all later.